which stands for Fragile Mental Retardation 1. The mutation is on the DNA of the X chromosome. The gene appears in three forms that are defined by a number of repeats of a pattern of DNA called CGG. Individuals with less than 40 CGG repeats have a normal gene. Individuals with 40 to 200 CGG repeats have a premutation, which means they carry an unstable mutation and can send the mutation to future generations. Individuals with over 200 repeats have a full mutation, which causes Fragile X syndrome. The full mutation causes the gene to shut down a region of the FMR1 gene. Normally, the FMR1 gene produces an important protein called FMRP. When the gene is turned off, the individual does not make the protein. The lack of this specific protein causes Fragile X syndrome. Fragile X syndrome has physical and developmental characteristics. These include mild intellectual disabilities in females and moderate intellectual disabilities in males. Fragile X symptoms include motor and language delays, behavioral abnormalities that are similar to autism, such as hand flapping and poor eye contact. Physical characteristics include a large head, long face, protruding ears, prominent forehead and chin, and loose joints. Also, large testes in males, and has an impact on the menstrual cycle for carrying females. It is important to note that the majority of these characteristics develop with or after the onset of puberty. Fragile X syndrome is seen more often in males than in females. Approximately 1 in every 4,000 males are affected, and approximately 1 in every 8,000 females are affected by Fragile X syndrome. A father will pass on the FMR1 gene to all of his daughters, but none of his sons. At this time, the gene is stable, but as the gene is passed down from mother to child over generations, the gene becomes less stable and increases the child's likelihood of a mutation of FMR1 and being fully affected. This is why Fragile X syndrome can go through generation to generation silently and undetected. In the 1990s, two molecular DNA tests became available. One is called the Southern Blot analysis. This DNA test determines if the gene has full mutation and its approximate size. A second test is called polymerase chain reaction. This test can determine the actual number of repeats in the individual. Here is a list of resources I found helpful while researching information on Fragile X syndrome. These websites explain Fragile X syndrome in simple ways that are easy to understand. Families who are looking for resources, I encourage you to check these sites out. They can be very helpful.
That was better.